Greetings, Commanders! Infantry mains, rejoice. Our day has come. I've been complaining about infantry not having a viable tank build for a long time. And it's not that we haven't seen alternatives. For instance, Season 9, You Lost had a Stella tank build we did a video on a while back. Conceptually, it was really good. Crit wither, a little bit of sweep, a lot of dodge, a lot of tear space damage with HP in the helm. But what it really lacked was survivability. It wasn't a real tank build. It died too fast. Then after that, we had a Season 10 simulated build where we thought, hey, wait a minute, what if we add damage reduction? It actually works really, really well. You have the Andromeda 20% chance to shut your opponent down, and then you have all this HP and damage reduction, accuracy, and dodge, and Stella just crushes. The problem, though, is it still would just fall victim to just normal stuff. Other spell damage, it would let your opponents pop off with Roger's defense stance and Elf's curse and heals. But now, rejoice, we have an answer. With the simulated builds, there's a new sheriff again, guys, and it's going to be Mysterious Warrior. Now, it's the same build as the Stella build, okay, and it's using Wings of Eternity, but we're going to be using dual blades. Dual blades. It doesn't just shut down one opponent slot, it shuts down another random one at a 30% trigger rate. So if you have a 60% Wings of Eternity, which gives you, 2 to 3 attacks per turn, and you have a 30% chance, there's a good chance you're shutting your opponent down 2 slots for every 1 slot you go. So you have a huge turn advantage. Now this build right here is pure damage reduction. It's accuracy, HP, damage reduction. A little bit of resistance weaken helps, right? It helps with your accuracy as well if you're going against a Walker opponent. Walkers could be trouble. Cassiopeia does hurt this. Dual blades can be debuffed by Cassiopeia, so watch out for Hancock. We'll talk about him in a minute. But Elf doesn't seem to be too big of a problem. The Elf Steam Cannon build doesn't do anything because Steam Cannon doesn't really hurt us. And if we're shutting down her heals and her ability to cast Curse with our dual blades, we're getting a ton of value against Elf, and basically she just becomes like a not very accurate tear space damage commander. So I'm going to show some replays here, and then I'm going to go back over the gems to explain why this works so well. So Mysterious Warrior, I think, is the better choice just because he has another 60% skill. His second hit there, his 60% hit, it doesn't hit that hard, but it might trigger Elf's heal. Remember, this whole build is hinged upon tear space damage, not combat damage. But there is some combat damage to be had, so you don't want to ignore it. And I think it's easier to get Mysterious Warrior to S-Class and then Wings of Eternity to 30, as opposed to get Stella to S-Class and then Dual Blades to 30. Now, you don't need Wings or Dual Blade at level 30 to get full value. At level 1, they do what they're intended. That's what's nice about them. But if you do have dual blades at level 30, it lowers their dodge, I think 1.5% per level. So that's really nice. The higher it goes, the better. But with Wings of Eternity, your base combat damage hits harder. So yeah, that's not a big deal. But the other alternative skills, Stella has a 20% Dizzy skill. Mysterious Warrior has a 60% double strike skill that beats Roger's defensive stance, I think, but it doesn't hit very hard, and I think it can trigger heal. So ultimately, I think Mysterious Warrior is going to be the better main, but you could do it with Stella as well. Okay, let's just bury that for now. Okay, so the damage reduction on this build is 10% from Cassiopeia, 10% from the Aegis Hull, that's 20%. 30%, 36% from the pants. This is max gear, by the way. So there's 56% there, and then another 24 from the helmet. Okay, that's 80% damage reduction. So if you're doing combat damage to Stella, you're already being reduced to 80% damage reduction. But she's also going to be running 600% crit wither or max crit wither, right? So Mysterious Warrior Stella, you're not going to be doing combat damage. You have to do tear space. You have to do spell damage. Okay, well, if 80% damage reduction works on Curse, works on Tear Space, so it's just a brutal tank build. She's like impenetrable. And you might be saying to yourself, what about Dragon Slayer penetration with a huge crushing blow shockwave combo? If you can get it off, yeah, it'll do some damage. But it's not going to one-shot. That's the greatest part. It's not going to one-shot. So these replays are sped up 300% just for the sake of the video. The proof is here. You can see it. Maniac ran his tier 12 tank build. This is the one video we did a few days ago showing how good this style build is on walkers. And how the only thing that really beats it well is the Tank Stella build, which is why we're doing this build. Now, he went ahead and did the Tier 12 attack troops here. Doesn't really do much. Pretty obvious there. I went ahead and ran my Ghillie, right? I want to beat this Stella. How do you beat it? Hancock for sure. I was talking about that earlier. But also, commanders that can ignore stats and hit really hard one time and also shut down what Stella's doing, right? Dual blades against Stella works because you can't trigger Terra Space, you can't trigger Wings of Eternity, or all those skills. So using dual blades against her is a great thing. But it's like trying to use dual blades against, there's me, trying to use dual blades as a 30% skill against a commander who can trigger multiple attacks per round. You're throwing something into the fire to like combat their biggest strength, and you're going around them by trying to hit them hard. But my ghillie just couldn't hit hard enough with all that crit with her. So it's a pretty exciting build. I mean, listen, as far as the gear is concerned, it's really high-level expensive gear, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, unlike the penetration builds, whatever your helmet's at, whatever your weapons are at, whatever your chest and legs at, the more you level your gear up from 30 to 35, it just keeps making your commander better if you're willing to run a tank march commander, because they're high risk. You don't really one-slot bust them, but you can. You can. It actually works, but they just don't hit as hard as like a massive one-slot bust ghillie. But as far as the late-game meta is concerned, this Stella build, this Mysterious Warrior build on whatever you want to call it, is going to be super high-end. We're going to start seeing it. And, you know, listen, it's been in the works for a long time, but now that we finally have the invention of the augment 4th skill, we have the opportunity to do what Andromeda was trying to do on its own at 20%, now at 30% plus Andromeda plus Wings of Eternity. It's just insane. All right, gear-wise, obviously the pants maximum damage reduction is important, right? A little bit of HP helps, but remember, your gems are going to give you a ton of HP. So the HP you get from Fearless isn't essential. The Beetlejuice pants are better. There is an argument here for Fire Spirit for more trigger rate, and an argument for Dominion Hall for more trigger rate, because if you can just shut your opponent down, who cares how much damage reduction you have? It might work out really well. But in my experience, the whole reason why this build never worked was because there wasn't enough damage reduction, and now you don't want to really sacrifice it for more trigger rate. Damage reduction always works, trigger rate doesn't always work. So I think there's an argument there. Ultimately, I think the damage reduction build is going to be better, because the closer you get to that 100%, the more and more effective it becomes. Okay, going back to the gear, so the weapons, the truth weapons have, they're basically the same as the, what's it called, that new weapon, I always forget what it's called, Alcade? Yeah, the Alcade weapon. The Alcade doesn't have dodge, okay? Instead it has attack and accuracy, okay? So penetration, attack, and accuracy is nice. It hits hard, we like it. The truth has dodge on the weapons, and if you notice, none of this gear has dodge, okay? And you kind of want dodge, because you're going to be awakening crit with her. So I do put the Alcade in the best of the best slot, because at the end of the day, super high level, it's probably going to be better than the dodge. Maybe, maybe not. But remember, we're going to be using a lot of dual blades here and shutting our opponent down, and they're not going to be able to hit us without guaranteed hit for the most part. So sometimes that dodge might be the deal breaker. I say start with the truth weapons. If you can afford the Alcades, go for it, but they're literally like thousands of dollars, so it's up to you. You don't need to have max level gear for this thing to work. All right, Sagittarius ignores base stats on your combat. It's just good. It's another guaranteed hit. We need it. Andromeda, 20% shutdown. All right, 3-piece Cassiopeia damage reduction. And then 2-piece Scorpio, 2-piece Ares for bonus HP. That's just a little more damage for your tear space. Okay, accuracy in everything. In everything you can. Usually it's just the weapons though, right? 30% accuracy is high. Anything over 25%. Accuracy, accuracy, accuracy. You gotta land hits to do your damage. You can't rely on your guaranteed hits, but you might have to. Okay, as far as the defense stats are concerned, HP gives you more damage. That's just tear space damage, okay? And then after that, maybe defense, maybe dodge. Feel it out what your research is. Feel like if you're not dodging enough, maybe put some dodge in there. Defense is also really nice, because it just always works whenever you get hit, except by spell damage. But as you can see, that's not really a major deal here. Anyway, this video doesn't need to be much longer. I think it kind of lays out what it is. You saw the replays. It's going to be the defining infantry tank build. Now you're probably asking yourself, Melt, are you going to build it? No! I can't afford to run a tank build. Are you kidding me? This is for the super uber players, or people that want to run peak contests. Server side, this is a risky build, although it is a lot of fun. I do like this build. I'm actually so stoked for infantry right now. God, it's so good. Hubarian penetration build is so good. Ghillie attack combat damage build is so good. Mysterious Warrior or Stella lockdown, really good. I think Big Skillet will probably do the Hubarian penetration build if he hasn't already. I might have to do it if he doesn't. He'll do it. Come on. Come on, Big Skillet. Anyway, I'm super pumped about this, man. Did I say 80%? I said 70%. It should be 80% damage reduction. Anyway, if you want this combat card to share with your friends or to keep for your reference, check in the description below. It's the top link. Also, we opened a Teespring merch store. So if you want to buy Melt merch, everything you buy, $5 of it goes back to the channel if you want to support the channel that way. And we are 38 patrons away from hitting our 100 patron goal. the goal we set down in the Ohio Mark video. So if you want to join Patreon, now is a great time. We'll get there, guys. We'll get there. Anyway, my name's Melt. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit a like, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you tomorrow.